Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video, I'm going to react to the 10 US states with the most freedom. Now, you know, everybody calls, like, America's called the land of the free. And a lot of people, you know, they take pride in that freedom. But I've always wondered, what is that? What does it mean? Like, what freedoms exist in America that don't exist in other developed countries? So this video here, I'm hoping it's going to really break it down for me and explain which states you go to as a foreigner to experience some of those freedoms. So yeah, this should be really interesting. Let's do it.
10 states with the most freedom. The United States of America was founded on many ideals, all of which come secondary to freedom. Throughout history, many people have died in the name of freedom, both here in the US and in other parts of the world. Here in this country, we have the luxury of being born into freedom. How each individual state's freedom vary by province. So in order to fully appreciate how free, or not free, the state you call home is, comparing the states on things like personal freedom and economic freedom can help you better appreciate your state's laws. Whether you reside in a state with no income tax, looking at you Floridians, or in a state with extremely restrictive gun laws, learning about your state's individual freedoms can be a good way to decide which state fits best with what you want in life. Thanks to a yearly study done by the Cato Institute, we have an up-to-date list of the freest states in the country. Before we begin, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Now, here are 10 states with the most freedom. Number 10, Kansas. Coming in at number 10, Kansas is one of the freest states in the country thanks to the state's gun rights, work policies, and tax regulations. Nicknamed the Sunflower State, Kansas is known for its strong tornadoes and even stronger regulatory policies.
Kansas is in Tornado Alley, isn't it? I think.
Occupational freedom is relatively high compared to the other states, meaning that residents won't need extensive licensing to do certain jobs. Marijuana is still illegal and there is no medicinal system. However, the sentencing for cannabis-related crimes is lower than the national average.
Okay.
However, gun owners in this state enjoy some of the strongest gun rights in the country. Both concealed carry and open carry is legal in Kansas without a permit. Kinda sounds like the Old West. Alcohol regulation bars grocery stores from selling wine or spirits, but allows stronger beers to be sold. The alcohol tax...
But why though? Like, if they're comparatively similar in their alcohol level, why are spirits banned versus beer?
Is lower than the national average
and
as
wine
well.
Especially.
Kansas has no state-level minimum wage, and even has a law barring employees from banning guns from company parking lots. Number 9, Arizona. Arizona ranks as the 9th most free state in the country, thanks to its still strengthening personal freedom laws. The state's passing of constitutional carry in 2010 gave Arizonians the right to either open or conceal carry without a permit. Arizona also passed medicinal marijuana laws, giving patients with a license the ability to buy legal weed. Local taxes vary town to town and are generally within the national average, however, state taxes are reasonably lower than the rest of the country. Arizona helps bridge this tax gap by implementing a higher sales tax, keeping individuals and business income taxes low. However, Arizona also has a higher than average tobacco tax and strong statewide smoking bans. The state does have a minimum wage, which is higher than the national average at $12 per hour as of 2020. Gambling laws are actually stronger than...
What do you guys think about minimum wage? I personally think it's a good idea if there's a decent minimum wage, because it just stops some people from being exploited. Like, what do you guys think?
Other places, and for-profit casinos are illegal. Number 8, South Dakota. Located just under North Dakota, but notably not before North Dakota on this list, South Dakota ranks relatively well in the freedom department. Economic freedom in the state is well above average because of low taxes on both state and local levels. Personal freedom in this state is better than other states, but not best. Occupational licensing has been growing since 2016, making working freedom subpar, but health insurance freedom in the state is excellent. Tobacco taxes are relatively high, but alcohol freedom is better than most states. On crime, however, South Dakota's drug and victimless crime arrests are well above average and cannabis laws are harsh. Gambling freedom is high unless done online, and gun rights are some of the best in the country. Number 7, Tennessee. Tennessee was once the freest state in the country, but due to policy change, it has fallen down multiple spots on this list. Economic freedom here is high, but personal freedom is lacking. First off, the state has absolutely no income tax, and state and local tax collections are below the national average. As for labor...
Oh, so in America you pay 2 different taxes on your income. So you pay state income tax and then what is it, federal tax? Like, what taxes do you pay? Because here you just pay one tax, and then you pay national insurance, which is basically like covers all of your healthcare, but is really low.
Laws, Tennessee has no state-level minimum wage and relaxed workers' compensation rules. Licensure laws have strengthened over the years, and there is a certificate of need law for medicinal facilities. As for personal freedom, gun rights in the state are some of the best in the country, but open carry rules are strict. A lifetime permit is required to open carry, unlike Arizona and Kansas. Cannabis laws are strict, alcohol taxes are high, and gambling is restricted. School choice is also unavailable in this state. This all makes a stark contrast between the amount of economic freedom in the state versus personal freedom. Number 6, North Dakota. Coming in as more free than its southern neighbor of the same name, North Dakota has well below tax rates on state and local levels. Land use is lightly regulated, and the state has a right-to-work law. While there is no state-level minimum wage, North Dakota has a strong workers' compensation fund. Victimless crime arrest rates are extremely high, but the incarceration rate is low. Cigarette taxes are relatively low, but there is a smoking ban in place as well.
Oh my God, look at that picture. I mean, if that, like, smokers who watch this, does that put you off, or are you kind of desensitized to seeing stuff like this? Because that is just, to me, like, awful.
Wine and spirits are available in grocery stores as long as they are in an enclosed space. Gun rights are above average, however, permits are required for conceal and open carry. Weapons in the Class 3 category are restricted. Educational freedom in this state is very low as a result of tight regulations put on private and homeschooling. Number 5, Nevada. Nevada is often called the Silver State because silver was discovered there in 1859. This started many settlers to the region and started the migration boom in the area. Nevada ranks as number 5 thanks to its personal freedom. Taxes in Nevada are below the national average, but because of the size of municipalities, local government choice is low. There is a right-to-work law and a state-level minimum wage. Licensure laws in the state are about average, but nurse practitioners were given full prescription authority in 2013. As the home of Las Vegas, gambling freedom in the state...
Is that really a good thing, though? Because a nurse isn't... Obviously, a nurse is a professional, qualified person, but they're not a doctor. So, like, nurses being able to give prescriptions, maybe they're only able to give prescriptions for certain things.
Is number 1. Nevada is also the only state where prostitution is legal. Gun rights are about average, while victimless crime rates are still high. This could likely be chalked up to the tourists. Marijuana is fully legal in the state, and alcohol laws are some of the loosest in the country. Maybe that's where the saying, "what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas," comes from. Number 4, Colorado. The state of Colorado ranks in the top 5 freest states for more than its recreationalized marijuana. Its state taxes are below the national average, but the state really shines in work-related freedom. Colorado's occupational licensing system is much more lenient than other states in the US, so much so that there is no certificate of need law for hospitals in the state. While there is no right-to-work law within the state, there is a minimum wage that just reached $12 an hour. As for personal freedom, Colorado led the recreational cannabis push from 2012 to 2014. Even the alcohol taxes within its borders are some of the lowest in the country. Public school choice has been legal for a while. There is legal gambling, and gun rights are better than other states. Physician-assisted suicide was approved by voters in 2016. And to top it all off, there is no law designating motorcycle riders to wear helmets. Number 3.
But that's, to me, not really a good idea, because if you don't wear a helmet, if you crash, not even crash, if you get knocked off your bike, there's a much higher chance you're going to die, right? I just don't know if that's a smart thing for that state to do.
Indiana. Located in the Great Lakes, Indiana is the freest state in the whole region. While the state does have an income tax, it is much lower than the national average. There is a ban from guns in company parking lots, but other than that, land use freedom is very good. The state passed right-to-work laws and has stuck to the freedom-mandated minimum wage. There is no hospital certificate of need laws, and prescribing authority extends to physician's assistants. Gun rights are very good regarding concealed carry, however, the state does enforce a strict age limit on dealing and possessing firearms. Educational freedom is above average thanks to a low scholarship tax. Smoking bans are much less strict than other states on this list, but marijuana is fully illegal. Alcohol taxes are low, and the state even allows direct shipments of wine to consumers. Number 2, New Hampshire. Hold
on, so doesn't that just mean that you can order wine from a a brewer or something, or distiller, whatever they're called, a winery, and it gets sent to your house, can't you do that everywhere in the States? Or does that mean something else?
New Hampshire has always scored very high on the scale, and was even in first place for 7 years straight. State taxes are at a countrywide low, and income tax is well below average. As for labor laws, the state has no minimum wage, and right-to-work legislation is non-existent. The state does have stronger than average licensing laws, but there is no hospital certificate of need law. Personal freedom is high, however, thanks to no restrictions on concealed and open carry. Tobacco taxes have stayed consistently high within the state, but its alcohol tax remains low. New Hampshire only has charitable gambling, so it scores well below average in that department. Number 1, Florida. The Sunshine State takes first place thanks to its
I would have thought Texas would have been number 1.
policy on income tax, or lack thereof. That's right, Florida imposes no income tax on its residents, and state-level taxes are some of the lowest in the nation.
Oh, wow.
As for workers' rights, Florida does relatively well. It has a law in place that does not allow employers to ban guns from company parking lots, as well as a right-to-work law and state-mandated minimum wage at $8.25 an hour. Hospitals have no certificate of need law, and licensing is required for most jobs. Physician assistants have the authority to prescribe, but nurse practitioners and dental hygienists have independent practice regulations. In recent years, Florida has improved its personal freedom, giving it the number 1 spot on this list. Other victimless crime arrests are reasonably low. Other than the above-average homeschooling regulation, educational freedom is best in the country. Marijuana is medicinally legal in the state, but cannabis is yet to be decriminalized or sold recreationally. Alcohol and tobacco taxes are high, but the sale of them are much less regulated than other states in the country. Gun rights are above average other than virtually non-existent legal open carry. Concealed carry is allowed provided a permit is required. The state also has a stand your ground law and even protects the use of silenced weapons. So were you surprised by any of the states that made it on this list? Did your state make it to the top 10?
Really interesting. Like, I think I need to do a bit of research into some of the things that were spoken about, like things like the state tax, income tax, right to work, just some of the terminology that we don't really use here. I do think some of the freedoms that were spoken about kind of seem a bit borderline irresponsible. Just like, I guess, you know, if you don't want to wear a helmet on a bike, you have the right to not wear it. But it just seems so dangerous. Like, just, you know, like, why would you not want to wear a helmet if you're riding a motorcycle on the highway? It just, you're putting your life at such higher risk. But then again, if you don't want to wear it, you know, as long as you're not putting anyone else at risk, why should you have to wear it? It's an interesting one. I'd love to know your take. Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.